Okay, what's up everyone? ZachSongZ here, back with the new stream. Today we're going to be doing some investigation in Phoenix Wright. I just want to make sure this is live. Okay, quiet me. So last time we proved that someone didn't kill someone or something, I don't know. You know, normal thing. Anyways, in today's episode, I didn't get water, god dang it. Well, I hope I don't have to do the cowboy's voice, because if I do, then I am dead. Yeah, you know, let's just get straight into this. I don't even care anymore. I'm so sorry, Miss Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. What did she say? Oh, yeah, that. Okay, that's loud. I'm going to... You guys aren't going to hear the game for a second. Don't mind that. Sorry, I have new headphones, so that their mix is a little bit different than my last ones. Probably should have accounted for that, but I don't care. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? Did you die? Are you a ghost? Bum bum blah. It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last video. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When you I can't speak today, sorry. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings? The night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? I was joking. Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming, except it says right here, we read that already. Witnesses, Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Come on, Phoenix, get your act together. Happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year, too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. The text slows down sometimes. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. Seems like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then... What happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. Permanent picture? I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. And that must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. Rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up what she did. Permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Been through so much. Basically, what you're telling me is you didn't help at all. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. 14. That's understandable. Yikes. And now I'm using the exact same sprite that I used back then. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Atlanta would never have to forge any. I see. I'm finally starting to understand. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. Tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did you run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Where should I go next? Oh, god dang it. Of course she's not here. Oh, wait. I forget, actually. Oh, no, there she is. Mr. Wright, seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Right. Today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one, 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believe in you. I believe that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true. What the witness, Miss Starr said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Then I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? It doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. Alright, detective. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. Hey, it's Gant. I bet you he's the killer. I'm calling it now. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? Then he was the vice head of criminal affairs. Sorry, I read that last line wrong, sorry. But he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. Oh, Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed. Emma really idolized her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could later use that experience in court. Gant's help in the SL9 incident was critical in its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the chief detective was, no doubt, Damon Gant? Yes, Detective Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. Came into the same office? We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall had worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the last murder took place. We tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. First one at the scene. Detective Gant and Prosecutor Marshall were the ones questioning that day. Wait, I uploaded... Yeah. I was like, did I update the thumbnail for this? And I was like, yeah, I did. Okay. Maybe. We're the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages when Dark must have panicked. He waited until Gant and Marshall left their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Detective Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Drake. Oh. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Oh. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. Picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. God, I just need to wait for these lines to finish so I know how I'm supposed to say them. I don't know why this case in particular is like, wow. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident? That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to the extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the Chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the Chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kind of quiet around here today. You're right. Head of the department seems the same, though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right. We can come back here later. Yeah, I just need to go here so I could get the police station from here. Oh, god dang it, I do have to do this voice. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. Never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Please, Sarah. You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck would run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance. We all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Well, the prospectors headed west. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you tune yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match for the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there was a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. The facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You don't mean King of Prosecutors? Not that again. What do you look at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have been really close with his brother.
The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. Can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They?
Who are you talking about?
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Alana Skye. Yeah. I knew it was Gant, I didn't know Skye did that. Chief Detective Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Alana Skye. We're just gonna show you this picture 5 million times in case you don't get the thing already. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something similar like that too. I read that wrong.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lena's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. That's my story. Didn't you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure that I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Oh, that was a cool sprite. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Wow. Oh, something new happening here. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks. Oh, sorry, Chief, I thought Gant. That's not Gant. That's... I'm looking for that. I don't know what I give. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention her statement on the media and tomorrow's trial. More chaos going on in Thanksgiving and Christmas together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
Just head across the hall to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we're not police officers or anything.
Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go to the chief's office.
God dang it, why'd I tell them that?
Ooh. This place looks kind of cool. He has a piano, or it's like an organ actually. And a computer, and... Whoa! Where am I? In the chief's office, silly! At least, that's what it said at the door. Check that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Back. I thought I was a genius until they tried teaching me notes. Never could remember where C was.
Hmm? Oh. Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant! Put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, Mr. Wright, have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Miss Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence.
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there?
Yeah, it's the first thing I noticed, actually. Yo, who's that, like, knight? Is that just, like, the statue? Have we seen that before? Maybe we've seen that before.
That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me.
So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something's not right with this picture. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Maybe it's the fact that they all look the same and none of them have aged. Why did I'm stupid. That was my fault.
Why is the top broken off? Oh. Why does his have a sword? That's not cool. Oh yeah, I forgot. He just like sits there for like a couple seconds before he's like, oh, what do I say? Anyway, I'd like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm gonna lock up here, so let's go out together.
Oh, but this office. It was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. I hate all of you.
Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
Yay, new possibly unusable evidence.
What do you mean? Chief Gant denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way we can get inside the chief's office. What's going on here? Maybe we can get Edgeworth to give us the key or something. No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. We proved in court today that no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case. But instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. How am I gonna do that? I'm not that good. Edgeworth, are you in here? I need a key or something. I don't know. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. Took a real beating in court today. I read his batting for some reason. Yeah, we planned on admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago. I guess we'll just have to come back later. Why? Why can't everything just work out now? Is there anything new here? I don't know why I go back there. I just like to do it sometimes. How about here? No. Actually, let's show you the picture. Attorneys and prosecutors. Okay. Okay. That's cool, I guess. It's not like I wanted to show you that picture or anything. Not like I was trying to get you to slip up and say something. Well, I am in a bit of a pickle.
Where do I go? What do I do? How about here? Oh.
Is it gonna be me, pal? I bet you it's gonna be me. Hey, I called it. Hey, pal.
Detective Gumshoe, were you in a meeting?
I was, just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long in the meeting? Actually, I had to serve everyone coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No, why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle between you two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes.
Edgeworth's crisis. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky's the guilty party here, isn't she?
Gum on his shoe. Regardless, the prosecutor is responsible for the evidence he presents in court. Not only that,
and as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around. Oh, sorry, I just saw the Edgeworth sprite, so I'm like, oh, it's probably him talking.
And as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around with Mr. Edgeworth. Those who don't like him,
it's so weird that his mouth is moving. Oh, I don't like it. It's messing me up.
Those who don't like him haven't been able to do anything because of his amazing talent as a prosecutor. But now with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only had that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies.
Hey Dick, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Let's go for lunch again sometime. My treat.
Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir.
Seems you don't have any problem with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
Seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find out anything?
The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack? You mean
when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me.
It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Oh, I have more options to talk to him.
Don't interrupt me, Emma. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just a run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So, it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed the man that witnessed the accident. Then he killed the lady who saw the second crime. A kid walked by just then, so he killed him too. I wasn't done reading. Jogger came up, killed him. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in?
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but fortunately he was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness? You must mean Emma. How do you not know that, ma'am?
I'm pretty sure it says on the thing, it's like,
about this.
Hey, don't tell me that.
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what was it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. You're gonna have to talk to me first. God dang it. Murder weapon.
This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at, and it had his fingerprints on it too. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well anyway, take a guess where the broken tip off the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound. Did it match Joe Dark's knife? You bet, down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Neil's autopsy report. Switchblade knife. Oh, updated. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the Chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The Chief's out now and his office is locked, but we'd like to have a look around if that's okay. Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh, sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. How about this? Let me share a little advice with you. If you don't have a clue, keep your trap shut. Okay. About that jar. I think I've seen it before somewhere. Somewhere? Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I've ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the Chief's office, and he's yelling at me. Chief Gant. Where could I have seen that before? Oh, so this is from his office? What? I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. I think people are accusing him of injustice. I, for one, ain't buying it, pal. You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth? Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, the serial killer was on the loose. Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Dark guilty. What do I show him to... What about this? Let me share... Okay. Oh, a lost time report, huh? Very impressive, you know what it was right off the bat. Well, I am a master of misplacement, you know. Master? That has such a cool ring to it. The way I see it, if things are meant to be lost, then they're meant to be lost. There's a higher power at work here. Wow, higher power. Maybe I shouldn't let him hold any evidence. What do you say about this rubber glove? You don't care. That's nice. How about Marshall's prints? Can't believe Officer Marshall will do something like that. You know Officer Marshall? Of course I do. He was like a mentor to me. When I first started out, he gave me a small cactus. Really? He said, Nick, she'll listen to all your troubles. Note to self, Detective Gumshoe talks to a cactus. Hard to believe he's just a patrolman now. Somebody ought to trade places with him. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Security video. Let me share a little advice with you. I don't care. How about this? Okay. What do I have that... Or this? Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. I got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations. I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken? Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Down in Mr. Edgeworth's car. Stand with Mr. Edgeworth's knife. Would drive trees... Okay, now you're just repeating yourself. Blue Badger. This guy almost made us lose the case today. What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. There's more than you can say about most. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays. Would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well. I have to admit, he's right though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. I don't think I have anything that I can... That's the photo that Miss Starr took. Anything you can tell us about it? And Miss Starr is quite the lady. Why, I remember it was winter. She was the only one who ever got me to talk about what happened. Victim's shoe. Okay, you don't care. Switchblade knife. You already talked about this. I didn't mean to... luminal testing fluid. Hey, I just bought some of that stuff. Now I can go around detecting blood traces too. Wow, is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. I have 3... Yes, there's only one number left to investigate. 4:20 p.m. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with somebody else. Someone with an executive officer number. 77777777. That's 1 7 too many, Detective. Executive officer. I just might have a hunch. Hey, that powder's used for detecting fingerprints. He did what? All I have is some flour. Are you okay, Detective? Quick, run! Achoo! If it's any help, one time he took a nap on a bench with wet paint. Why am I not comforted? Okay, I'm pretty sure I have shown him like everything. Okay, I've showed him everything. I don't think we can show... Okay. Oh, I wasted a lot of time on that. Is there anything here now? No. Edgeworth, please be here. Please. Yes! I knew something would happen. Edgeworth, I needed something. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! It looks like he's writing something. Huh? What are you doing here? Sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? Had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Did it? There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. Well, you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility is the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. I take pride in my work. So tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First, last year's trial, and now this one. It's It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? That list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists? That is odd. After Near Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been part of the investigation, but at the time there was only one thing on my mind. I'd use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture? Something seemed strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this? Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends, clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office. Because the chief asked you to? That's right. What am I showing him? The picture, right? Yeah. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Oh, I didn't see it the first time. Look in the back. That's this thing. Oh, okay. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. It looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors Award. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? That trophy Mr. Marshall is holding. It's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor trophy used until that time. There's a story behind it. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with two characters. The first means halberd, and the second one means shield. Have you heard this story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though? For Emma's sake. Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with two items. The first was a halberd he claimed he could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Objection! Objection! Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless, and thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize... Precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Oh. What's going on here? Oh yeah, I thought so. Excuse me. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? The star! I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kinda like the first person... Whoa. Still. I I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to a mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that little scene I happened to witness. Ethan Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Miss Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll not soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell. Wow. You mean because his... Bleh, I can't speak. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 incident. Of course, they were led by the legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant! That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we're so shocked over how it turned out. You mean, with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious that the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found suddenly appeared, while other items were kept secret. But you didn't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman were relieved of our duties. Most without even so much as an explanation. Then Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 years ago, Gant was chief detective, and Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kind of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh, yes, there were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked, and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would have ever recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why. I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean, that's why Lana was transferred? If he can control the chief prosecutor, he can control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude. There must have been a reason for a change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. God, they have some good one-liners in this game. Oh. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I'm gonna make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in the chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Oh. What? Oh, I guess I just went to court record. Oh, no, this is gonna be new. Say, this line's based on an old Chinese parable, right? Yeah, everyone knows that. There was this, dragon. Yeah, that's it, a dragon. He had a thing for shields, see? That's not exactly the version we heard. No, but this one sounds more exciting. Anyway, it gets kind of gory after that. I'll spare you the details. Oh. I was hoping for more than that. Is that seriously all he says? Maybe this? Maybe somewhere else has changed. Can we ask you about this, maybe? Huh. Dang it, you're supposed to tell me what to do. Oops, sorry. Alright. I'm just gonna look this up because I don't want to spend 70 million hours doing this. I really don't know why. I really don't know what to show him, to be honest. So, hold on. I have it in my history. Bendy. I think it's right. There we go. Oh, okay. I missed something back at, Edgeworth's thing. Sorry. Oh, yeah, I guess I should have noticed. So the paper that he threw under the desk, we have to go check what that is. I forgot examining was a part of this game again. Yeah, there it is. I wonder what he was writing before. on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right there. Just distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet. You didn't even look. What? Letter of If you can't read, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Mr. Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. But Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done, and no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh. I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. And now we can show this to, what's his face? What's this crumpled up piece of paper? No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe they pushed him this far. Mr. Edgeworth really feels responsible. At first, I thought he was as cold as ice. But now I know different. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I made up my mind. But, here, take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. Alright, detective. Thank you. Nice. Tuck swiftly into your pocket. That's a nice detail. I feel like they do it a bit differently. Alright, let's go. Oh no. Oh no. Why is it a black screen? Here goes, Mr. Wright. Oh, we're just getting in. Uh-oh. That makes me scared. Oh, there we go. Oh, there's the gold thing. Open sesame! If anyone finds us now, Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Ah! Ah! Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Ah, Detective Gumshoe, what are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong, so I came too. If you're here, then what's the point of giving us your ID card? Crumpled Gumshoe's ID card in his pocket. Hey, don't do that to my card! Oh, crumpled up his card. That's funny. I'm hardly ever getting a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together. We're all in this together. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out. I got a bad feeling about this. That desk on the other side of the room, was that your sister's? Yes, that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a string policy of preserving the crime scene. Strict, not string, sorry. There's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to anyone else. He wants us all to always be alert. He told himself so at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk? No one except Chief Gant. And the cleaning lady, who's in here every morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. There can't possibly be any clues around. Weird. My sound was cutting out. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? because it's one of those SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah. You wouldn't be... No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then, let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. Huh? What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? Yeah, Mr. Wright, what do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings. Yet. There he goes, ignoring me again. This is the real deal, isn't it? This armor and these weapons? Sure is, pal. Chief doesn't care for imitations. First the pipe organ, now this armor. Do you know how many taxpayer dollars must have gone into this room? What? You mean we're paying for this? That's it. I'm not paying 1 cent on my taxes. You don't have any taxes to pay. Shh. Be careful of what you say. Who knows? The Chief may be hiding in this armor as we speak. I don't think he'd fit in there. Even if he did, he'd never be able to get back out. Cut it out. You guys don't know how scary that guy can be. Wow. Look at the size of the Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier.
Oh, it's you two! Ah, blah, blah, blah.
But that paper is reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like a list of evidence used in a case. A list of evidence. In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this. Hey, look at the case name. Huh? SL9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what... No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long. That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-size list of evidence. That list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The Chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. Looks like a code needs to be entered this panel to open it. Oh god. A 7-digit number. I think I might just know what it is. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want to try my birth date. It's... not that. It's 777. I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. I know what it is. This is easy.
Boom! That was really easy.
Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 77777777. The final ID card on that ID record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day. You mean 77777777? That's the ID number? I think you're 17 shy this time. That can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed in there? Look, it's a
Oh.
shard from a broken cup. It somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else in here too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth. With a handprint on it? This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the Chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that so? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it. And a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. But unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great, now I have to prove the relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Yeah, I know what it is. The first one is this. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? All of us put that back together. I read that wrong. Oh, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece? Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found. You mean this one, right? That was in the safe? Yeah, that one. It was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Here, let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at this. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. If I can put this keys... It'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes.
Oh, hey, look at that. It fits.
There! It fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey, guys, get a load of this! What is it? This piece you just attached. It's different from the others. There's a reddish line on it. Reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? And then... Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea, Detective. Alright, go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that? Go ahead, take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor? I don't think he was joking. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for prints. I know how to do this. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. We'll do that one, I guess. Alright, should be good. Yablo! Huzzah! We found some. I gave it my best shot. What kind of result won't be any good for matching prints? Doesn't like we'll get a clear result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Okay. This one looks pretty clear. Let's try this one. Ooh, yeah, that's a good looking one. Of course it wants more, doesn't it? It's not enough. There we go. Nope. Not it. No matches found. That's cool. Maybe... Oh, no. I thought it was the same. It's not. Come on, come on. Yeah, it's not the right one. No matches found. Come on. Speed through it. I just want to know whose print this is. Was it Emma's? Oh!
not expecting that.
No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, you found a match? Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seemed the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Psst. Hey, you, over here. What's going on here? What are that kid's prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence.
Now that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right, you in the coat?
Ah! Chief Gant! We didn't think you'd be back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective.
Do you mean me, sir?
Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat.
Me, sir?
Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore.
But, sir...
Now get out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I don't know.
He was angry.
We'll be on our way too, then.
Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd like a word with you.
But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific investigator yet.
You're with the spiky hair. You're free to go.
Mr. Wright. Look, pal. If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. It's hard to believe anyone could keep quiet about it all this time. Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police want to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. Oh, boy. And I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really, I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman. You know, I think I've finally figured it out. Who it is you're hiding behind those words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe. That's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say. So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, who may ask this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly frightened of. What is this person's name? Well, Miss Guy, Damon Gant. Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place. I take it you're still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about the circumstances? We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? both you and Edgeworth will be brought before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, those are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly investigated that evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in that case. Take that! You want proof of the Chief's wrongdoings? Here it is. That evidence proves someone is doing something wrong, all right, but it's not the Chief. Who would that be? Why, you, of course. Me? Yes. You seriously believe what you're saying? You seriously believe what you're saying, don't you? Now that's scary. You seem to have the markings of a criminal in you. What with all your foolish accusations? Care to spend tonight in the next cell? Yeah, it's me. You're the scary one. Mr. Wright, you're evolving by leaps and bounds. I'm starting to see the hunger in your eyes. Oh, sorry. I just found this in a safe in the Chief's office. This jar piece and this strip of cloth. You know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing the evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty for murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman. Perhaps I should say follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk was broken. I discovered the murder weapon while inspecting the body. Murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife? That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And this is the reason for the bandage on your right hand? Yes. It seems I got blood on the victim's shoe as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. Miss Starr. Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that, by whatever means possible. So you hid Dark's knife? The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it. In Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right, then I called my sister. To tell her what had happened and ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him all at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean, not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Officer Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He'd already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incidents in the evidence room? I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. To be continued.
Oh, my throat hurts so much.
Whew. That was an intense session. Alright everyone, well I'm going to end the episode here. If you have enjoyed, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and subscribe to see more of this awesome game. I will also be playing Dragon Ball FighterZ and Breath of the Wild, which I'm going to be playing both of those for a while, so I recommend you get into them, unless you don't like me that much, in which case, well, why are you watching this? But, yeah, please check out those series. They're both really fun so far. And, yeah, anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow, the next stream. Peace out!